Poverty and homelessness puts people through very tough situations, where the morality of their decisions begins to play a smaller and smaller role in their lives, when surviving through the night becomes their only focus for the day. We set out into the depths of Santa Clara County, California, to find people who could better help us understand why crime becomes such a huge factor in the lives of the homeless and impoverished. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Crime seems to be the only answer. Or was there a better option all along?
Bloody murder, murder, bloody murder, murder, murder.
1/5 of all homeless people have committed a crime to get off the streets.
Bloody murder, murder, murder.
Being homeless makes you want to do things like drink, smoke marijuana, stuff like that. So if you do any of that kind of stuff, you're just going to get hassled and run off. So we just try to stay out here and not get caught. Which is basic. And then every once in a while, the police and the city council will get down on us because they don't want us around. So they chase us out, tell us not to come back. We'll go on the sidewalk, get out from the sidewalk. We go down the street, get out of there. It's a back and forth thing. And then they came out and they said they were going to give us we're going to house 1,000 people in 1,000 days. That didn't happen. It's a joke. And they got the armory that's open. You can go down there. It costs you $6 to get there, and then you get kicked out at 5 o'clock in the morning. You need $6 to get out and come back. It's pretty bad. Poverty to me isn't like homelessness. Poverty is like some people that have jobs and they're working on a lower pay scale, and they're in a house and they're paying their bills and stuff like that. We're homeless, which is totally kind of like different. You know, all we get is like handouts from church and other people, friends, stuff like that. Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot of homeless people out here, and then some of them will go up and ask people, "Can you spare any change? Can you spare this?" Poverty pushes people into, other things. Well, they'll go up and just take it from you. If some of these people ask people for stuff, if they don't give it to them, they'll take it. They'll take the purse, they'll take their wallet, they'll beat them in the head, take their car, stuff like that. So that stems from poverty because they don't know how to deal with homelessness. See, poverty is somebody that has a house, or some people that get tired of their family's crimes and stuff, just kicks them out on the street. They don't know how to live on the street. All they know is crime. So they'll come out and just rob people.
$31 million Americans live in hunger or at the edge of hunger.
And when you become desperate, there's no telling what you might do. And I think a lot of it is because people are desperate. Some of them desperate. Being high, you get high, if you get drunk, and you can forget about all your troubles for a while. And that becomes the most important thing. And it's a cycle. You keep going. And if you're out there, sooner or later, you're going to do something wrong. It's going to get you in trouble. It's just a matter of time. The law of average is going to catch up with you. And it does with most people.
It starts off with reaching out. Because you can be in a situation before poverty hits you won't even know it. You're late on your bills, you're late on your rent. You're finding out that the crowds that you hang around with ain't about nothing but crime.
And when I first started, they would go down to the creeks to find me for help. And a lot of organizations don't do that. They actually walk the streets. Go to different places and come on in. We got some help for you, you know. And when you go in the creek, people, you know, that's serious, you know. And you have some very dedicated people, and you know they're dedicated. And once you get involved in it, you want to become a part of it. Because the support system is tremendous. And that's one of the main issues with anyone is about the support system. And DST really cares. They really do. They show you that they care. And that helps people. They don't care what your record is or what you've done. You know, still out there reaching out and giving a hand.
Almost 60% of Americans will spend at least 1 year at or below the poverty line.
Downtown Streets Team is a work experience program. So what we do is we take the guy who's panhandling on the corner and basically give him a broom and say, show up at 8 a.m., work 4 hours. The other 4 hours, why don't you try and find a job, try and find a shower, try and find a place to stay, work with our case managers, that type of thing. But just show up and start working on someone's dignity. And what ends up happening is on that team environment is folks start feeling really good about themselves and they start wanting to be on the right side of the law. So instead of always getting stopped by cops, maybe they have some drug history, or maybe they got caught every day using the bathroom, like I said, outside. But being on the right side of the law, we have some guys that say now that have spent a lot of time in prison or jail, and they say, I don't even jaywalk now because I'm so scared of going back there. I don't want to go back there. I want to be a productive member of society. So providing that service to the community while improving people's dignity, or at least their view of their dignity, is a really powerful tool, and that's what Downtown Streets Team does.
The crime itself affecting homeless people is quite hidden, yet plainly obvious, as much of the Gilded Age politics and social reforms were back in the 1870s. During the roaring 20s of the Gilded Age, everything seemed and looked great in America. With swinging jazz and champagne galore, everything seemed golden and dandy. However, as the name Gilded Age implies, not everything was as great and extravagant as it seemed. There were people in devastatingly poor situations, but no one paid any attention, for no one wanted to see them. This all changed when the crash of 1929 hit, just after the Gilded Age. People were thrown into poverty, and social workers tried to organize unions and jobs, but they didn't succeed. Only once people were faced with poverty did they do anything about it. We cannot let that happen in our society. Poverty is reaching soaring levels as seen blatantly in Santa Clara County, and we need to do more to help them out before history repeats itself.
Pretty hard to the point where you can't really make it. You can't find housing, you can't find a job, so you're forced to trespass, to steal, that type of thing. And so it's a kind of a vicious cycle that never ends without someone being given a real second chance. But in my opinion, it's the same for a high school kid as it is for a 20-year-old, as it is for a 30-year-old. It's all about motivation. And so if you can paint a clear picture for folks, say they're low income and their family has, some of their family has criminal history, it's going to be much more likely for them to end up without a good education, in a low-paying job, and with a criminal history themselves. But if you provide that motivation for college, for a great job, for bigger, better things, that's going to keep people, motivated to do the right thing, to stay out of, the penal system if they can, to stay out of trouble, to work hard in school, to get an awesome job that they love and that they can get paid for and afford their own place so that they don't end up on the Downtown Streets Team. Well, there's the old, Les Miserables story of stealing the bread just to feed your family, and that's very true. What we've always found is that just by being homeless, people actually are committing a crime. So they call it criminalizing homelessness, and what that essentially means is enacting laws that affect homeless people and that they really have no choice but to break because they're living outside. For example, trespassing. If you have nowhere to go and nowhere to sleep, you're going to trespass in order so you can get a good, safe place to sleep or a good, safe place to store your belongings. I think there's a lot of innovative things going on here in Santa Clara County that are going to spread throughout the Bay Area, California, the country, around restorative policing and understanding that criminalizing homelessness, criminalizing poverty is not the solution to poverty. It's expensive and it doesn't work. It hasn't worked in our country's history. So these innovative solutions like North County Alternative Services and restorative policing, I hope are the way to move on and really address both homelessness and its link to poverty and crime for good.
As Chris said, criminalizing homelessness is not the answer. We need to help out more people who need another chance and are willing to open new doors and start fresh from ground up. With such amazing organizations as Downtown Streets Team, dedicated to reaching out and helping those in need, what people's success boils down to is the recurring theme we faced: motivation. Not a lack of support, not a lack of available help, but rather a lack of motivation from impoverished and homeless people themselves seems to be the only thing holding them back from leading a better life. But with newfound strength and motivation, people can transform their lives, as Downtown Streets Team has shown us firsthand, and can start themselves off on the right path to a new, crime-free, productive life.